Have you noticed that organic versions of your favorite foods just seem to cost more? Well, there are quite a few reasons for this. Today we are going to unpack them so you can better understand what's really behind those higher prices. Are organic foods cheaper in the market? No, not really. On average, organic foods are about 47% more expensive than their conventional counterparts. But that's just the surface. So let's dig into the reasons why. Why are organic foods more expensive? First, costlier farming practices. Organic farming is much more labor-intensive. Farmers must weed crops by hand rather than with chemicals. They monitor pests and diseases regularly and rotate crops to keep the soil healthy. Plus, they can't use artificial fertilizers, which are cheap and fast-acting, or GMOs, which are often more pest-resistant and higher-yielding. Instead, organic farmers rely on compost, crop rotation, biological pest control, and cover cropping. These methods may work in the long run, but they're less efficient in the short term. More labor-intensive, and often require more land and time. The result? Higher production costs that get passed on to you. Second, lower crop yields. On an organic farm, you simply don't get as much food per acre. Yields are typically 10 to 30% lower than conventional farms, which often use high-yield crops, fast-acting fertilizers, and pest-resistant GMOs. It takes longer for organic farms to replenish soil nutrients, and they may lose more crops to pests or disease. So every unit of food is more expensive to produce. Third, higher labor costs. As we mentioned, organic farming involves more manual work, whether it's weeding by hand or with simple tools, monitoring soil, and pest health more frequently, or rotating crops, and managing diversity in planting. All of this creates more job opportunities, but it also raises costs. Fourth, cost of certification and compliance. To be officially labeled organic, farms must undergo certification, which includes inspections, record keeping, application fees, and compliance audits. For example, in the US, USDA organic certification can cost $700, $2,000 plus per year, which is substantial for small farms. Fifth, post-harvest handling and distribution. Organic food must be stored separately, processed without contamination, and labeled and tracked carefully. This requires special logistics and equipment, which raises costs as you go from farm to table. And sixth, economies of scale. Organic farming is less widespread than conventional farming, so supply chains are less efficient, with fewer distribution hubs and more small-scale producers, which means no bulk discounts. Finally, seventh, shorter shelf life. Organic foods typically have fewer preservatives and are often minimally processed, which means they spoil faster. This is especially true for fruits and vegetables, as well as dairy and meats. As a result, retailers face more waste and adjust prices accordingly. So when can you find cheaper organic foods? While organic foods are usually more expensive, you can sometimes find great deals if you know where and how to look. Buy local and seasonal. Farmers markets often have competitive prices, especially during peak harvest seasons. And local growers may use organic methods even if they aren't certified. So ask them about their practices. Also, if you're willing to commit to one brand of one product, store brands can save you money. Many large grocery chains offer their own organic product lines, and these are often 20 to 30% cheaper than name brand organics. Finally, buying in bulk can help stretch your dollar, especially for dry goods like beans, rice, pasta, and oats. Nuts, seeds, and dried fruits are also great finds when purchased in bulk, as are spices and flours. In conclusion, while organic foods generally cost more, understanding why and knowing where to look can help you make informed choices that fit your budget and values.